here. My name is Nikhil, and I'm representing an organization by the name of Redington, India. I am taking care of the education segment, and I'm handling the Apple product line for them. Now here, today we're going to learn a little bit about the Apple products and how Apple has been working on technology that has been changing lives, and the education segment in particular, right? We all come from a background wherein, typically we were using pens and papers and pencils, and probably, some of us might have actually used the chalk and the slate kind of a setup as well. So technology has come a long way, right? In the last 15, 20 years, we have seen a technological revolution going around. And when we talk about technology and education, they definitely go hand in hand. So today, while we talk about how technology is going to impact education vertical in the future as well, we're going to talk about learning with Apple. So to ensure that we are going in the right direction, we definitely need to have a vision, right? So while the technology has changed, we definitely had a vision. We have reached a certain point, and today we're going to just express on that front. So we're going to start off with a simple vision, which is going to lead us towards, how our vision converts onto the learning front, and then we're going to talk about the path that we're going to take to enable both the academicians and the students alike. When you talk about a vision, I would say a vision is definitely required to get things together in one place. Have a goal, go for it, right? I would say our CEO Tim Cook sums it up wonderfully well, wherein he says our goal is to make amazing products that enrich people's lives. So when we talk about Apple as a technology company, we think about products. When we design them, when we make them, we think about a product which will enrich people's life. It will make a difference. It will make a huge difference to people's life. If that is not the case, we would rather not have that product launched. So while we talk about this, we speak about technology and what technology does, right? So we create technology that sparks curiosity. Now, what good is learning when you don't have any kind of curiosity, right? If that apple would not have fallen on Newton's head, and he was not curious as to why this apple fell down and did not went skywards, probably we would not have had the laws of Newton, right? We deliver technology, we create technology that inspires creativity. Beatles, Beethoven, these are wonderful artists. But then why are we forgetting the mathematicians or the scientists who have found out creative ways of reaching out to probably, a Pythagoras theorem? We are talking about a world wherein we are looking at God's particle, hadron colliders, right? Who would have thought about that? So even our academicians, they are artists in their own way. We talk about technology which frees the imagination. Technology should not be cumbersome. It should not be a complex thing, right? So we talk about technology that has been created and is supporting to free the imagination. Now, curiosity, imagination, all these are very, very important part of our learning, right? And when we speak about learning, it becomes very imperative that when students understand this part, that, they're learning something not because they are being forced to learn or because they have to, but that they love to learn, they love to do things differently. That is where the students are more than happy learning on their own, right? If you look at the picture, you can see beautiful smiles there. They're enjoying the work that they're doing, right? That is what we do. We create technology that can bring that smile onto the student's face in whatever they're doing. We want to make technology that is accessible to all, regardless of the ability of the student, or for that matter, any physical aspects as well. So we would like to see a blind person traveling the world on its own, right? We want to make technology that is relevant, and it makes things relevant for the students as well as the teachers. So there are a lot of things which are being used in the world which might not exist a few years down the line, but then there are certain things which will continue, they would have evolved, so we would rather be in that space wherein we evolve, grow together. And then we would like to make technology that is really personal, right? So when you use a WhatsApp, when you use Facebooks, when you use LinkedIn's of the world, that is technology which is personal, right? We would certainly like to see that students get that personal touch on technology. Why? Because when you talk about personal, it means you are looking at yourself and the society from your perspective. You're looking at building up yourself the way you are and the way you want to be. That's why technology has to be personal. Now, when you talk about these aspects to make technology accessible, make it relevant, and make it personal, we talk about wonderful hardware. We talk about our own operating systems. We talk about some fantastic, powerful apps. And we talk about our service and the overall environment, both inside and outside the classroom. So it should not be limited only to your school setup, right? When you talk about Apple, we look at a company which talks about expanding the possibilities. So when you talk about imagination, we talk about creativity, and we talk about inspiration. We are looking at expanding what exists, right? So a student will be more than happy achieving something that he never believed that he could do. So that's where we want to work on. We want to ensure that technology goes and takes students in a direction wherein they are able to deliver what they have never even thought of. So we talk about exploring and discovering, talk about creation, we speak of communication, and we speak about solving problems. All these eventually boil down from the fact that there is curiosity in the minds of students, the students are imaginative, and they are being, they have the right technology in their hands. So when you talk about exploring and discovering, we have been wonderful in the field of apps. We have got a lot of things that we have been working around with education. So right now what you see on the screen is a small little app which talks about a 3D imaging from a basic cubes. It talks about chemical reactions. So this part is all chemical equations being explained, right? Similarly, you would like to create things. Students would be wonderfully interested if they have got a chance to create their own things, right? I think teachers also love to do that. So we have a lot of academicians here, they would like to create their own content. How good will it be that your student goes out into the field and starts clicking picture, probably to create a wildlife project? Communicate. Well, we have always been a land of storytellers, right? Aren't we wonderful storytellers? So we love to do that, right? We do it wonderfully well. So we have been fantastic storytellers. So same goes for all the teachers, right? You have to narrate things in a way that students get it easily. They understand it as a story and not just as a subject, right? How wonderful will it be if you're able to tell a student that, okay, mathematics as a story, how it has evolved, who were the founders, who were the people who actually initiated, probably the algebraic equations, how they started off. So, and solve problems, obviously. So that comes down to our statistics and the factual things. Now imagine what we could have done if we had this kind of technology during our days, right? So I come from a background wherein the pens and the papers of the world were there. Now when we were spoken about creativity, we've spoken about imagination, talking about technology being relevant, being precise, being personal. We're going to talk about a basic path that we have thought of, and it's a very well-researched process, wherein we talk about a vision. We talk about a vision of the institute or the school which is there. We talk about a wonderful team that has to be set up to enable or to introduce information technology or IT into your system. We talk about a community, which is all your stakeholders, including the students, the parents, and you yourself, right? We talk about measurable goals. So you cannot have the setup, you cannot have all the things without any kind of measurement goals. Then student learning as well as the teachers learning. When you talk about professional development, yes, teachers are wonderful students as well, right? They stay students throughout their lives, right? And then we talk about environmental design, which includes your environment, the campus, the infrastructure, the software and the hardware all put together. Last but not the least, the financial stability. You would certainly like to see some returns coming out of what you're doing. And these are the 8 elements that we have worked around very strongly so that we ensure that the delivery, is perfect. It could be as simple as, a student typing in Google for some essays, writing that down, doing some tests, doing some online tests. But when we talk about Apple, we talk about not just that part, but we talk about a lot more than that. We talk about expanding beyond that. Right? And with that, I would like to thank everyone present here. Thank you.